I just had the guitar in my hands and I played like the intro to the song just out of habit because I play the song all the time.
Okay.
And I turned around and at the same time Ben like wheeled his chair around and looked at me and he was like, I love that song.
Yeah.
And I said, it's my favorite song. He said, it's my favorite song. And so we were like, okay, let's do it. He was like, we got some extra time. You want to go in and do it? And we just started walking into the studio room to our spots. And he was like, have y'all ever done this? We were like, nope. We just kept walking and did it. And we did it on the second take.
Nice.
We kept it
just
live.
The way it was.
Pretty much we added one part and then everything else is
one little hint. It's a country song, yeah?
I mean...
All right, here we go. Episode number 3 of Between the Verses. I'm your host, David Wilde. Good to have you back. This is kind of cool, man. We're already on our 3rd episode, and with us this time around, we've got our good friend, Mr. Gatlin Johnson. What the hell's going on, buddy?
A lot.
Dude, it's been a while.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's been a
seen
long
you. I haven't seen you in almost a year. Well, no, I went to one of your shows at Blue Light, I guess, about 9 months ago back. But it's been a while, man. I'm glad you're doing well. You're looking well. I know you've been out there. You're staying busy, doing the music thing. Of course, we're broadcasting at Foxtone Studios here in Lubbock, Texas. First couple episodes, we record them at like noon, 1 o'clock. But it's like 7:27 Lubbock, Texas, USA time, so I figured we'd have ourselves a couple Coors Lights while we're doing this episode. So just let's catch up, man. What you been up to recently? Most recently, I know you're working on new music, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we just put out a single at the end of June called Wish I Could Hate You.
Okay.
And it's one of the best things we've done so far.
Really?
It's like probably the most I've ever spent on anything in my whole life, and it was worth it.
Okay.
So that was new, and then we just finished cutting our debut record that will go along with that shortly.
Okay, very cool. So a little background on you. You're out of Aledo, Texas. You grew up there. It's kind of a smaller town, isn't it? What's it close to?
It's just west of Fort Worth.
Okay.
So it's between Fort Worth and Weatherford.
All right. And, of course, you grew up, your dad was a football coach, which I'm going to bring that up for a reason. I think that there's a certain amount of respect I have for football coach sons. You know, there's a certain rigid kind of expectations out of you can tend to be pretty high, I'm sure. Is your dad kind of like that?
It always was growing up, yes, sir.
Yeah, I get that, man. My dad's retired Army. You know, he taught me how to make a bed to where I could bounce a quarter off of, which, speaking of which, we were talking about my kiddo. We talked about it on the last episode, so another big shout-out to Dylan, because eventually he's going to see this.
Yes,
and
sir.
You've met my kid before, I believe.
I have. I've shook his hand once or twice.
Yeah, he's out there at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, so big shouts out to Dylan. He's doing good. I talked to him on Sunday. He gave me a nice little selfie. He's looking the part. That first couple weeks, anybody that's about to go join the Army, just know it's going to be that first couple weeks may be the toughest because you're homesick.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I remember going to college and all that, but I can't imagine going straight to the
Well, you got somebody
Army.
Screaming in your face. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And he's a good kid. He could take it. He's built right. I mean, I built him to be tough, and so I raised him to be tough. And he's just moving right along. But he said he's going to be he's like the flag carrier now or something like that. So he's apparently doing some good things out there. So a little shout out to my kiddo. Love you, kiddo. All right, let's talk about. Are you still living in Lubbock, Texas, right now?
I am.
Okay.
I am for now.
For now, is there any plans down the line, or?
I mean, I know eventually I'll probably go somewhere else. I'm not sure when that is. I feel like I've still got some time to live here and some dues to pay here in Lubbock.
Well, we had Tristan on last episode, and he made the announcement on the show that he was going to be officially moving down to the Hill Country.
Right.
And we were discussing that where there gets to be a point. Now, Lubbock is a great place, and I think you would agree. That's why you're here in the first place. Besides, you went to Texas Tech, of course. And he had mentioned, he said, there's a point where you kind of oversaturate the market here in Lubbock. Do you agree with that?
I mean, yeah, I don't know that it's any less than 5 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's definitely a time you got to go.
Yeah.
There's a Will Green song about it. Everybody writes a song about leaving town, you know. Got to find out who you are. which is why I came to Lubbock. So I don't know. There's definitely a time where you got to leave, but I don't think I'm there yet. I think there's more to do here.
So you feel like you got a little more time here in Lubbock, and I warn I bring this up because I kind of warn artists. You're one of my favorite local guys. I say local, because you live here in Lubbock, and I mean that, by the way. I really enjoy your style of music, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But there is a point where you can oversaturate, especially a town the size of Lubbock. You've got the Blue Light. We love the Blue Light. I mean, you've got Cook's Garage. You got a few other cool venues around town as well. But at a certain point, I'm not going to say any names like I did on the last one. I'm not going to say any names, but I've got one particular individual that I love to death. I think he's one of the most talented guys around. But he's been here for so long, and he's been playing shows in Lubbock for so long that it's kind of like, well, why am I going to rush out to go see a show on Friday because I know he's going to be here next week anyway? And I'm just being real. I mean, I think that is a thing. I think that can kind of kick in after a certain amount of time.
Absolutely.
And I guess you're still at a point in your career. You're still cranking out new music. I think you do have a little more time left in Lubbock.
Oh yeah, and I think that what's important about that too is getting out of Lubbock. Just because you're from Lubbock doesn't mean you got to play there every weekend or every 2 weeks or whatever. Like, I think we've done a really good job ever since probably 2023 was the worst year, or 2024 maybe it was, where we played at the Blue Light like 12 times or something like that. And
on like a Tuesday night or something.
Yeah, which just, I mean, that was just like, we need a show and we need a place to play, and there's no better place to play than Buddy Holly Avenue.
Absolutely.
But, Parker Morrow is a friend of mine, and he told me, he said, if you really want to do this, then you got to go other places. And so since that conversation, it's been really of the utmost importance to me to travel far and show people who we are.
Absolutely.
And, I think as long as I'm doing that, I don't think that Lubbock will ever like be a place that I can't be. It's tough to travel from Lubbock is what's hard about that.
Yeah.
It's further to get everywhere and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I kind of enjoy being the guy from Lubbock everywhere we go,
I've heard that there's a sort of point of pride that you have when you show up to Stephenville or wherever. I don't know why I use Stephenville as an example, but it's a good town to go play music in, that's for sure. That it's like, hey, we got some Lubbock guys coming to town. Like, there's a certain aura that comes with that. And for folks that don't believe me, just trust me, it's there. I mean, it is there, that there's a sense of, I don't know, I think there's something gritty about Lubbock artists that people respect. Your style of music in particular, I think what I was so drawn to, you're such a young guy. How old are you now?
23 tomorrow. I'm 24.
Oh, happy birthday, dude.
Thanks.
Hell yeah, that worked out. I love that you're only 23, 24, and you had to sit there and think about it. Like, when you get to be my age.
I'm like 32.
I have actually forgotten how old I am. It has happened. I'm like, I had to go and like do the math real quick. I'm like, oh my God, I'm that old? I'm a fart already, man. But back to the point, you get a more traditional style to your music, to your songwriting. And I mean traditional. For folks, you're going to play a couple songs for us here in a minute. Folks that are just being introduced to you today, right now on this podcast, you'll understand. Where does that come from? Where does that traditional style, sense of, I don't know, you almost like you have a respect for the history for country music?
Well, it started with my like obsession with Willie Nelson.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I had a 6-month period or so where I just tried to listen to as many Willie Nelson records as I could. And if you go do that, you'll realize that you'll never have enough time to listen to everything he's ever done. It's incredible. I mean, it's like he's got his own projects that he does, and then he's got his own projects he does with his friends, and then he has everything he's featured on, and he's done so much. And I've always admired that. It's like kind of like people are real sensitive about what they record and what they put out and stuff. And there's some stuff out there that's not that great, and that's not most of it. Maybe like 1 or 2% of it is that way, but he still did it because it was his friends and he thought it was fun. And so I've in the future I hope to do stuff like that. But anyways, that's where that comes from. Really, was that obsession with Willie Nelson and his songwriting, and then of course we had Xavier Hudson join the band from the beginning, and he's a pedal steel player. And
he's so good, man.
Probably the best in Texas, I think.
I love that guy.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the way everybody else plays pedal steel. it's like the 90s country sound, and
Yeah.
it sounds good, and it's really pleasing to the ear, but he takes a lot of chances and plays more like swing stuff, 60s sounding, 50s sounding steel licks, and so a lot of our sound that sounds traditional has come from him.
I'd like to get him in one of these days, just kind of figure out what it is that where that comes from too. Probably similar place as you.
You'd have to turn the cameras off. He wouldn't do it. He would not do
He
it.
just wouldn't do it.
No.
That's no shit. Well, I just got to tell you, man. Like I said, when I first heard you play, first time, you were a regular guest on our Thursday radio shows. So we don't get in trouble, we're just going to call it radio show. You were a regular guest. I loved having you on the program, and I loved mixing you with guys like Clay, and just there were certain guys that I loved having you on with. And it just worked, man. It just worked. And I'm glad to see that you're getting out there. You're getting out of Lubbock. You're going, and you're right, man. We are kind of on an island out here all by ourselves. I mean, hell, even Midland's a long drive.
Yeah.
You know, Amarillo's not so bad, I guess. But I mean, if you're going to Dallas, it's a whole day driving, you know.
Is.
But it's funny because I see you've been watching any of the this cool stuff like with the World Cup, where these Europeans and people from all over the world have come to the United States, and they didn't quite understand the size of it until they got here. And it's like, come to Texas, you're really going to understand some scale.
It's pretty crazy.
You know, years ago, we did a trip to Ireland, and we were in Dublin. It was actually a red dirt pub crawl. Will Green was there. A lot of folks were there. Jamie Richards, I think, was there. Brandon Stedman, big shout out to my boy Brandon Stedman. I haven't seen that dude in forever. He's up in Nashville these days. Anyway, long story short, we wanted to go see the Cliffs of Moher, which are on the other side of the island. Of course, Ireland is just a big island. So we went to go rent a car. And I remember this, you know, with a really cool Irish accent. The guy that worked for, I think it was Ireland Enterprise, we rented the car, and he's like, well, where are you guys going? You know, I can't do a good Irish accent. We're like, we're going to go to the Cliffs of Moher, and we're going to bring it back tonight. And he goes, in one day, like he was shocked that we were going to drive that far. He's like, it's 3 hours there and 3 hours back. Are you crazy? And we kind of looked at him like,
Yeah.
bitch, we're from Texas. All right, that is nothing to us. And it was worth a trip too, man.
Yeah.
You want to talk about one of the most beautiful pieces of land on the planet, man. Go up to the Cliffs of Moher. If you ever get that chance, I suggest that anybody go do it. It is gorgeous. But I just thought it was so funny because this guy was just shocked that we were going to do 3 hours there, spend an hour or two there, and then 3 hours back. And we did. And we dropped him off the keys. The dude was still working too. I guess he was pulling the double shift or something. He's like, I really didn't think you guys were going to pull that off. He's like, I told you, bitch, we're from Texas.
That's awesome.
Ain't no thing. So anyhow, new stuff you're working on, dude. I know you've been hard at it. You've got some EPs out there. Got a couple really good singles out there. Tell me a little bit more about this current project.
Well, Wish I Could Hate You is the second single, I guess, that's going to be on our debut album. All the Time in the World was the first. I didn't really know what I was going to do with either of those.
Yeah.
But once I got both of them, this is another thing we try to do. Like, we have traditional sounding stuff. Yes, but I've always tried to write songs the way that they're supposed to sound, not the way that I want them to sound or the way that maybe other people want them to sound.
Expand on that a little bit. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
So, like, when I start to write a song, I don't want to tell myself, like, I write traditional country music. This needs to sound like a traditional country song. Like, I want to start the song with a melody or with a story or with a line and go into it with the mindset of serving this song justice. And so if that sounds like, I don't know, Cody West, which I've never written one quite that far, like, that anybody's heard anyways.
Right.
Like the rock and roll thing. But if it sounds like Slade Coulter, or if it sounds like Willie Nelson, or if it sounds like Stevie Ray Vaughan, like all of those like sounds, then that's what that song's supposed to sound like. And so I've kind of struggled with the idea of putting together an album because you want it to flow well.
Sure.
And so when we got those two singles, All the Time in the World and Wish I Could Hate You, it was kind of a great idea in my mind. It might be a terrible idea, but we're going to do it anyways, to kind of fill the gap between traditional country and that red dirt rock and roll. Yeah. And so I've written a bunch of songs, and we picked the best ones that I thought filled those gaps, all the gaps in between And so it's a 9-song project. It's 8 originals and 1 cover.
Okay.
And
so we're going full length album this time.
Yes,
and this is why you're saying this is costing you some serious money.
Yes, yep.
Where are you recording?
We did All the Time in the World with Scott Ferris.
Awesome. We talked about him on the last.
I mean, he's amazing, and I love Scott, and I would do every song with Scott if I could.
Yeah.
And then the second song I did with his name is Alan Rich at Mirror Ball Studios, which is just like Lubbock Wolfforth line-ish. We had Serato and Jay Saldana come in and do that one with us. And then the rest of the project, we had Jay do like some pre-production with us, and then we went into Melody Mountain Studios with Ben Hussey and finished it.
It's funny. This is only the 3rd episode, and we've already mentioned all of those guys multiple times, and there's a reason for that. Let me tell you, these guys are incredibly talented. I understand there's that a lot of folks want to run up to Nashville and find a producer up there, but I'm telling you, we got the musicians here in Texas, we've got the producers here in Texas, and it's funny. You got guys like Scott Ferris that we just love him. We can't say enough nice things about Scott. I joked on the last episode, I don't think I've ever seen him upset. I don't think I've ever seen him annoyed.
Yeah.
He's always got a smile on his face. He lives life to the fullest, and I'm quite jealous of that because I can't say that about myself. There's definitely been moments where I've been annoyed. Somebody cuts me off in traffic.
Do the same thing, yeah.
I get a few choice words. I think if somebody cuts Scott Ferris off in traffic, he just smiles and waves.
Yeah, he is that kind of guy.
It's just who he is. Well, that's great, man. I'm glad to see that you're putting together a full-length album. And it is expensive. It's gotten cheaper, though. I mean, compared to what it used to be, maybe say 20, 30 years ago, to put a record together. But it's still significant.
Yeah, there's more people doing quality work, I think, is what it is. Ben is great. We felt like we were in great hands going to Melody Mountain and doing the rest of it there. So we're still working on it with him. And
I've slept on the floor of that studio actually before. I say slept. I rolled around on the concrete and it was very uncomfortable. But I think we were doing one of the LJT shows out there. They're like, "Well, you just crashed in the studio." Threw some blankets down for me. I was like, "That's fine." We had enough beer. It was fine. I slept okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But a neat studio that they've got out there. Is it still the same one that's right there behind the stage?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yep, same one.
So if you've ever been to Larry Joe Taylor Texas Music Festival, you have.
I have. Yep.
When you're looking right at the stage, if you kind of imagine it's right back behind the stage down the ramp, they've got a whole long studio back there. How many years have you been going out to LJT now? I
only went the 1 year.
Was the year that I was there, right?
Yep, that was it when you took me down there.
We had a hell of a lot of fun, sat around the campfires.
Yep.
That's probably the thing I love the most about that festival. I love don't get me wrong, I love the big shows, the production, the people. But sitting around until 4 o'clock in the morning, picking guitar, drinking beer, and I joked on one of the other episodes too, is that I think it shaved a few years off my life, and it probably did. But I do miss that. Of course, those drive home from Melody Mountain Ranch on that Sunday after the whole thing's been over with, that's tough, man. Especially when you're pulling a trailer behind you. You got that camper behind you, just like, trying to stay awake, trying to make that drive home. I think I need to probably reach out to Mr. Larry Joe, see if we can get him on the show.
Yeah, you should.
Next time he's out here. He's got stories. That man has tons of stories. Well, I know you've been working on some new stuff. It's been a little while since you and I have hung out, so I know you probably got maybe a song I haven't heard before. You want to play one for us?
For sure.
Let's do that. Of course, we're talking with Gatlin Johnson. We're at Foxtone Studios out of Lubbock, Texas. My name is David Wilde. This is the Between the Verses podcast, episode number 3. We're getting better at this as we go along. Each episode, we're learning a little this and a little bit of that. Got to give a big shout out to the production crew, Parker and everyone. They're making this thing look great. So tomorrow, our first episode, I know by the time you see this, the episodes will already be out, but I know that we have confirmed that the very first episode will air tomorrow, and I cannot wait till people can see that. Mr. Clay Gibson in the studio. What's the song? Tell me a little bit about it.
Man, I had this line that, let me make sure I'm in the same spot I was. Here we go. Had this line for a long time. I thought it was a funny play on words, is that it's not over. It's just over and over.
Okay.
And so it took a little while until I got to a rocky part of a relationship to figure out what that meant. But let's see if I can do it here. Oh, yeah, another part of this story is I wrote this song the way it is because of a conversation I had with my friend Charlie Stout.
Oh, yeah.
He said, you know, I had gone through a phase of, like, writing songs because it was just what I knew about, and then I was writing songs because I wanted to be like Willie Nelson, you know, and then I was trying to be this great songwriter, and I did write some good songs through that, and then Charlie said, if you want to, you know, have sold out crowds like William Clark Green,
Yeah.
then you need to have some songs where people can just yell it back to you.
Yeah.
And so I thought that this hook was going to be a good one for that. So
Before you jump in, I just got to give shout to Charlie Stout. Let me just say this right now, and I mean this with all my heart and love. He's an asshole, but he's our asshole.
Yeah, he
You
is.
know, and he'll always shoot you straight, and that's what I respect about that man. He'll tell you exactly what he's thinking. He's not going to beat around the bush on it.
Yep.
So thank you, Charlie Stout, for always being our asshole. Gatlin Johnson.
all right. Just quit sleeping off our tiff last night. Morning sun comes up with another fight. It's never really a matter of wrong or right. It's disagree, make believe, but never say our piece and look for a better compromise. Fussing and cussing, oh what a mess. Who in their right mind wants to live like this? Part of me wants us to end. You tell me it's over. I know it ain't over. It's just over and over again. I'm sure it's my fault all the time. You never made a mistake in your whole life. I'll take the blame if you call it quits. My heart can't take no more of this. Fussing and cussing, oh what a mess. Who in their right mind wants to live like this? Part of me wants us to end. You tell me it's over. I know it ain't over. It's just over and over again. Over again. Every time I wonder if we can do this any longer, you remind me it's all we know. Fussing and cussing, oh what a mess. Who in their right mind wants to live like this? Part of me wants us to end. You tell me it's over. I know it ain't over. I've been hoping that it's over, but it's over and over again. Over again. Over again.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm digging that.
Thank you.
Digging that. I've been pretty open about, you know, I am a fan of your music, dude. I really am. I like that you've kind of come in and done your own thing. You've really got a distinctive sound and style to what you do, even though it's traditional. It's country music. There's just something about it. And I hope more and more people reach out and start watching you and going to the shows, downloading your music. Go check them out. Spotify. You're on all the platforms. Just, man, I can't say enough nice things. I'm not trying not to build your head up too much, but dude, I'm in. I'm a fan.
Thanks.
I'm a Gatlin Johnson fan. I've mentioned this on the last couple because I find this interesting to see the dynamic with familial support. So, your dad, we talked about, he's a football coach, or was. He's principal now, right? Is that right?
He's retired now.
He's retired
He was
now.
a coach and then a principal.
So when you decided to tell your parents, "Hey, I'm going to do music for a living," what was the response there? Remember, they're going to be watching.
I think it was. I mean, they were always supportive the whole time. It was kind of a gradual thing. It wasn't like I flipped a switch and decided this is what I'm going to do. I mean, in my head it was.
Yeah.
But as far as what I was doing, it was I transferred to Tech from WT where I was playing football. And I had already started kind of playing some gigs and writing songs. And then when I came to Tech, I started going to songwriter night at Blue Light.
Yeah, Monday nights. Yeah.
And I got the bug for being in a community of songwriters, kind of like pushing each other maybe a little bit, more so just supporting each other. And then when I started playing, I played my first full band show was when it was like, wow, this is definitely what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I really had that conversation with my folks until maybe a year or so later. But they were always supportive of me going and playing shows and still doing school and stuff. And then when I was struggling in school and I had some conversations with them, I had to kind of tell them, like, I'm going to finish school, but it's not my priority right now.
Yeah.
Like,
That was hard. That was a hard thing to say to them, I'm sure.
yeah. I mean, and that is a tough way to think about it, I guess, but it's the way it had to be because we just got more and more busy playing shows and further away, and I had to take less and less hours of school and stuff, and so
You had to explain all that.
But yeah, I mean, and then once it kind of clicked, I think. I mean, like I said, they were always supportive. They were just always pushing me to finish school and do both. And I don't know. It was supportive always.
That's good.
So.
As a father, it's you want what's best for your kids. You want your kids to live a better life than you did yourself. I wrote Dylan a letter on that matter. I said, I just want you to be better than me, and it's important. So I understand the parent side of it. And so I imagine there's probably some nerves. I bet there was because music's tough.
Probably
man.
still is.
Probably still is.
Yeah.
Music's a tough business, but I've seen so many guys like you and gals come through exactly where you're at, and now they're selling out arenas, I mean, Randall King, I'll use him as an example, which I'm glad he's doing a lot better. I got his shirt on today. He changed his phone number. Randall, call me. I've been trying to get a hold of him. He changed his phone number. I know he's been going through a lot.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that he's back out doing his thing. So a little shout out to my boy Randall. I mean, the guy that used to sleep on my couch at one point. He's out there doing big things. And I see the same thing. I see the same trajectory in you. I really do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I think if you keep going, good things are going to happen for you. And you're starting to probably see a little bit of that. When the crowd starts singing your songs back to you, that's got to be a cool feeling, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, and it's happening, right? I've been to your shows. I've seen them do it, and it's a neat feeling. So congratulations on all that. Just keep on pushing. You also brought up, and we talked about, I don't mean to keep rehashing this. I'm just trying to drill this point to folks that don't know what it's like out here in West Texas. Mm-hmm. The support, the it's almost like a big musical family.
Yeah.
You don't have what we would consider competition necessarily. It's more of a, hey man, that song's great, but here's what I think you could do to make it better. And it seems to be like in most cases, artists are pretty receptive to that. We want to see everybody do better. Mm-hmm. And you've seen it down the line. I mean, Josh Abbott has guys that he supports. Will has people that they support. And then they teach those guys, like Cleto, hey, once you get big, you need to support the guys that are under you. And so there's always been this sort of ecosystem that's helping to grow artists, to be honest with you. It is like a true music education out here in West Texas, man. And I think that's why this podcast is so important. I think a lot of people, maybe across the nation, across the world, don't realize how rich that is here. I mean, it's big time. I mean, you throw a freaking stone and you're going to hit a guitar player in this town. It's little Nashville out here.
A lot of musicians.
Absolutely, man. Well, I'm excited about the new record. We got kind of a release date timeline. Are we getting close?
No,
I said no.
I mean, I think what we're shooting for next is a single in October.
Okay,
and then
not too far then.
No, we're shooting for a single in October, and then maybe another one, and then the album sometime next year.
You've been out on the road. Have you had a chance to open up for any real big artists that you respect a lot, that you were super excited, stoked to go play? Are we there yet?
I mean, tomorrow we're opening for Roger Krieger at Green Hall, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty damn cool.
It's his birthday.
Get ready for a beer bath.
Actually, that's not tomorrow. We're going Saturday.
Okay.
But his birthday is... My birthday's tomorrow. Yeah. His birthday's the next day, I guess.
Oh, sweet. We'll kind of double it up and have a good time. You're going to get soaked in beer that night.
Yeah,
it's
I hope
gonna
not.
Happen. Oh, you will. You will. If you've ever been to a Roger Krieger show, the beer shower's coming.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I forgot that was.
There are videos, and maybe we could find one that we can link to this podcast. And I'll use LJT, Larry Joe Taylor Texas Music Festival, as an example, where there's like the cameras all the way back behind the crowd, and when he goes into "It's about beer," and I mean the sky just lights up with beer, and folks are just. It's a Texas thing. I don't know. I don't understand it. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
What I do know is when he plays that song, I start stepping back. Yeah. There was one year they actually put on ponchos. The whole band put on ponchos because they knew it was coming. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Where are you guys going to be playing at?
Green Hall.
Oh, you said Green Hall. Yeah, Green Hall. Well, man, yeah. I don't know what the rules are at Green Hall.
I don't either. I don't know if they'll be doing that. But
I love Green Hall. It's just so bloody hot in that place, man.
They said they've got AC now.
Do they have AC?
Like some sort of natural cooling system.
It's a swamp cooler, dude.
No, they've got some sort of air conditioning system now. I don't know what it is.
I stand corrected. I was fortunate to be there when Will Green did his Live at Green Hall album.
I've listened to that a million times.
2 nights in a row. We were there for the second night of it. And, of course, I enjoyed every minute of that show. What a great record that is. Go listen to it. I highly recommend it. But just a great time. But I probably lost 10 pounds just from sweating in that place, man. And I also didn't know they don't serve liquor. I went up and asked for a shot of whiskey, and they looked at me like I was stupid. They said, no, we have
Wishing Well or something.
We have wine and we have beer, sir. It's like, I guess 2 beers then. So, there you go. Been a big fan, obviously, for a long time. Little Things has been one of my favorites of yours, dude. Just something about that tune. Since you got your guitar in your hand, you want to pick one out for us?
Yeah, I can do Little Things.
I'm a big fan of that one, dude.
Just quit hitting my guitar here.
Go check them out on Spotify. You can hear the recorded version of this song, which I think you guys did a really good job on, by the way.
Thanks.
One of my recommendations. We'll throw a bonus recommendation there.
That was Yellow Dog Studios with Casey Johns. 6-string West Texas sky, singing "Oh Sweet By and By," laughing and reminiscing, shooting stars made for wishing. My old man in a John Wayne movie, cold can and no koozie, Sundays and fast cars. The simple life is who we are. Sometimes more is less in a world obsessed with gold. Don't need what's biggest and best to speak to my soul when I feel out of place. It got me losing my way, need a smile back on my face. I think about the little things, oh, the little things. Blue bonnets in springtime, good nights at the blue light, bass boat in a sunrise, blonde hair and green eyes, church choir up in Amarillo, my own bed and a cold pillow. Friday nights in my old Bronco, even days when it won't go. Sometimes more is less in a world obsessed with gold. Don't need what's biggest and best to speak to my soul when I feel out of place. They got me losing my way. Need a smile back on my face. I think about the little things. Oh, the little things.
Well, there he is, Mr. Gatlin Johnson, on the Between the Verses podcast. So I kind of mentioned earlier, just a moment ago, I kind of sprung it on you. I should have told you before the show started. I want to start doing little song recommendations. Whether it be something that's been out forever, 20, 30 years, doesn't matter, but something maybe a little more obscure that people aren't listening to that you think they should be able to be listening to. And the reason I bring that up is I've kind of had a resurgence of my love for music in a weird way. I'll explain that, and I kind of talked about it on the previous podcast as well, but I mean that. So as a radio guy for over 20 years, and a significant portion of that, I was the guy that picked the songs that went on the radio. So I would sit there and listen to music all day long. It was not a bad gig, really, when you think about it. It sounds like I'm complaining. It's a pretty good gig, but it does start to wear on you after a while because you start listening to music for other people. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I'm listening to it for, well, what will the crowd like? What will the audience like? This, that, and the other. And since I've kind of retired from radio over the last almost going on about a year and a half, almost 2 years now, I've been listening to music for myself. And that's different, man. You know, when you get in the car and you want to hear something, in the gym, I put my AirPods in, and what am I listening to for myself? And so that's kind of what I'm referring to when it comes to the stuff that, more people should be listening to, more obscure artists. So kind of keep that in your back pocket. Be thinking about that before we wrap up. You mentioned on the record you're going to have a couple covers on there because I know you're strong into the songwriting. What are you ready to tell people what those covers are? Or you want to keep that in your back pocket for now?
It's just one cover.
Okay, one cover.
And people that have paid really close attention to me, which is probably just my mom and dad, I don't know, but no, I know some people noticed this already, but we're going to have what I think is the best song ever written on our album.
And you're just going to leave it at that, aren't you?
I'll just leave it at that for now.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if you went through marketing classes out there at Texas Tech, but you got a natural knack for it. I can tell you that. That's good, man.
I'm just telling the truth. I mean, I think it's the best song ever written.
Ever written.
It was a really special, it was a special song to me always. It's an old song by like one of the most respected songwriters and instrumentalists out there.
Okay.
And we just mowed through our tracks because we've been playing these songs for 2 years now. And so we finally got the opportunity to take them all to the studio, and Tristan, our drummer, just nailed them. Yeah. Just boom, 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 boom. We got through about 3 of them, and Ben said, you might want to think about a cover just in case we have some extra time. We can kind of work on it in the background. And, of course, we all had different ideas of what we were going to do and disagreed and whatever else. And it was funny how that was kind of like distracting us from what we were actually doing.
Really? You were more focused on the cover.
In a sense, like we were working on our songs, and then in between takes, people would be like, we should cover this. And we'd be like, no, we should cover this. And then like 30 seconds would go by and be like, okay, back to what we were doing.
Yeah.
And then I just had the guitar in my hands, and I played like the intro to the song just out of habit because I play the song all the time.
Okay.
And I turned around, and at the same time, Ben like wheeled his chair around and looked at me, and he was like, I love that song.
Yeah.
And I said, it's my favorite song. He said, it's my favorite song. And so we were like, okay, let's do it. He was like, we got some extra time. You want to go in and do it? And we just started walking into the studio room to our spots. And he was like, have y'all ever done this? We were like, nope. We just kept walking and did it. And we did it on the second take.
Nice.
We kept it
just
live.
The way it was.
Pretty much. We added one part, and then everything else is just
one little hint. It's a country song, yeah?
I mean,
you're not going to tell me?
It's a country song. It's a folk song.
Okay.
It's been done before by a few artists, But
You can see me over here just trying to get it out of you. But
I'll tell you after.
I was going to say after we're done recording, I'm going to get a little inside information. I'll keep that to myself. I promise you that. All right. Well, do you have any songs in mind that you want to suggest to somebody that maybe hadn't, something that somebody needs to be listening to? I'm sorry I sprung that on you.
No. I had a bunch of songs come to mind, actually. I'm just trying to decide. I mean, are we going to do multiple? Or
we can do as many as you want, and I like to, hopefully, the production process is out of my wheelhouse. Hopefully they can link this episode to those songs so that people can easily click on them and go listen to them. So
yeah, number one, it would be Good for Getting Old by Hank Weaver.
Okay. Dig me some Weaver.
He is one of my best friends at this point, I'd say.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get to hang out with him very often, but when we do, it's just like I've known him my whole life,
Yeah.
And we understand each other pretty good, and I've never understood the way that he felt to write the song, but by listening to the song, I know that it's the truth, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
I've never been in a place in my life where I could write a song like that, but when I heard it, I was happy for him.
That part of this is selfishness too, because I'm going to go and listen to some Hank Weaver as soon as we're done with this right now.
Yeah.
Just because I want to expand as much as possible my horizons when it comes to music. What else you got?
I Am Not Broken by Mike McClure.
Oh, yes.
That's
Mike
a great
is such
song.
a good songwriter.
Yeah, he is. That's a good one. I also heard another Mike McClure song this past weekend. The Damn Quells played it. It's called Dings. And if you haven't heard that one, it's pretty good too. But I Am Not Broken is my song where you're talking about like kind of down in the dumps.
Yeah.
There's this notorious feeling called the Sunday blues for touring musicians, where you get out and you get high on life for Friday, Saturday, sometimes Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I mean, you can be completely sober and still like be on top of the world. Just like adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
If it's a big show or there were a bunch of people or if it was a late night, all this, everything. And then you have to drive home on Sunday and it's like
quiet.
Really quiet. And it's, man, you're kind of tired and whatever you're thinking, like, man, the crowd wasn't big enough or all the stupid little evil thoughts that can get in your head, And that song, I Am Not Broken by Mike McClure, has always kind of like pulled me back in.
What a phenomenal songwriter. I was fortunate to see him long time ago. I'm definitely aging myself here. A little place called the Wormy Dog in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Yeah. We played there.
At the Wormy Dog in Stillwater?
The Wormy Dog in Stillwater.
Is it back or what?
It's back.
I didn't know that.
They put it in a big building.
This is freaking news on the pod. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
See?
Wormy Dog's back. You'll have to come with us next time.
I would love to do that. When I was there, it was just this building with really low ceilings. Me being 6'7", that was something I noticed. I was like, I feel a little claustrophobic in here. But saw some of the greatest shows in there, and it was back when he was with the Great Divide, of course. And
we got to open for them.
He still had hair back then. So, shout out to Mike McClure that had hair back then.
I didn't know he ever had hair.
He gives me a hard time when I see him. I remember sitting on a tailgate. We bring up LJT again, and he had his music promoter sitting next to him. He just likes to screw with people. I think that's really what it is. Mike McClure's genuine heart, but he likes to screw with people.
I can see that.
And so he felt like at that moment he was going to screw with his music promoter, who, I'm in constant contact with. Hey, we got this new record for this artist. And I walk over, say hi to him, and he goes, Dave, I've been thinking, I don't really want you to play my songs on the radio anymore. And she goes, don't say that. Like, she just flipped out. It was hilarious. But it's just kind of Mike McClure's sort of dark sense of humor. If you ever spend much time with him, you'll pick up on that pretty quick. So, all right, I guess I'll give my two. I'm going to just do two. Do you have any more that you want to suggest? You got another one in your back pocket?
I've got one more.
All right, come on. Let's lay it on me.
It's called Nickel's Worth of Difference. It's a Tom Skinner song.
Legend. I'm writing that one down.
I had never heard this song. I guess I had heard it. Maybe I just didn't listen to it because we've played with the Damn Quells a few times. This was another one he played that I was just... I also had never seen them do their like bluegrass folk thing. I've been seeing them play...
The Quells?
Yes. Yeah. The last couple times we opened for them, they kind of, like, Brian had an electric guitar in his hands, and the fiddle was kind of the only thing that was, holding down that folk thing. And then this time, it was like a whole big deal. It was like we had to back off a little bit because we were opening for them, and they were like, don't do rock and roll, just kind of like easy, because they had a 3-piece band.
Right.
They had a stand-up bass, a fiddle, and Brian with an acoustic guitar, and it just blew my mind. Like, they were amazing, and and that song, his performance of Nickel's Worth the Difference was unbelievable, and he had a verse that is not in the song.
Okay.
And I wish I could remember it, but the regular song that's out is amazing too. It's really creative.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to do a little homework then, and that's for all the listeners too. Hopefully we can link all these to the episode and let you guys hear them. Make it simple for people to go there, because I am a firm believer, and I've said this before, where like guys that I went to high school with still listen to the same shit we were listening to back then. And it's not that it was bad. It was we're talking about like the Alice in Chains Unplugged album or the Nirvana or stuff like that we all grew up to. At least my generation did. And that's all they listen to. They don't get out. They don't expand their horizons when it comes to music. And I just can't imagine living a life like that. Like, for me, music means so much. I always want to learn more. I want to consume as much as I possibly can. And that's kind of why I want to add this little segment to every one of these episodes. Because, it's all subjective. It's like food. We all have our favorite. But it's interesting to see, where your heart is in music and what it is that moves you. And some of the stuff that moves me, I'm gonna throw this guy out here. Not very well known out here in Texas. He's a guy from Pennsylvania, of all places. He's a guy that is very open about his early drug problems and writes about them. And writes about them in such a way that you're like, gosh, man, thankfully I never went down that path. But you kind of feel the pain that was caused by bad decisions. And his name's Hunter Root. He's out of Pennsylvania. There's a song called Quicksand Sinking. It's a very cool song. Hopefully we can link that, make it easy for the viewers to watch that. Also, you familiar with Nathan Bass?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, it's good, man. There's a song called Damn Shame. Basically a guy that just completely ruins his life. And he just talks about, it's a damn shame. I screwed up big time. Now it's an amazing song. So those are going to be my two: Nathan Bass, Damn Shame, and Quicksand Sinking by Mr. Hunter Root. I actually reached out to him through Instagram once, and I said, man, you really got to come down to Lubbock. You got to play Blue Light. And he's a busy guy. He finally got back to me. It was like 6 or 7 months later. He's like, man, thank you so much for blah blah blah. So I was like, hey, you need to talk to Parker Morrow. You need to get your butt down here to Lubbock, Texas. So I'm trying again. Hunter Root, come down to Lubbock, Texas, man. We'd love to have you. I'd love to have you on the podcast and just really dig down and talk to the guy, because it seems like he comes from a dark place, but he's pulled himself out of it, which is something that I absolutely respect. Well, before we wrap up, you want to play one more?
Yeah, sure.
Do one more? And I'm going to let you just, whatever you want, whatever you feel like playing. We'll get one more song out of them.
Let's see.
Again, this is the Between the Verses podcast. We broadcast out of Lubbock, Texas, Foxtone Studios, and really liking the vibe of the studio. Parker did a great job. Feels warm in here. Feels homely. Even got the old reel-to-reel machine back here, which for some of you young guys probably wouldn't even know what that thing is, but it's there. It's cool. Let's go play us, man.
Let's see. I don't know if this song will ever come out, but it's one I wrote with my buddy Peter. More songwriter-y song, I guess. It's kind of about what all of us are trying to do, getting out on the road and still coming home.
Yeah.
Yellow moon hangs above windmills that I learned to love. Tonight their blinking lights keep me awake. As I drive away from that little town, 1.5 miles around their city square, where we played just fine. Did my words mean much? Are they floating like the dirt tires turn to dust? Can you hear me now? Bouncing around your head like good memories would sound. Neons in another state burn my eyes as I wake in Tulsa town outside the Mercury Lounge. Big city blue but hopeful now. If anyone cares, it's this crowd for the riders and the ramblers all around. Is it all false hope? Are the hoots and hollers really for our show? Can you feel it now? Pressure making diamonds as we're working on our sound. Sneak in late on Sunday night, creaky floors and dim phone light. Get undressed, slip into bed real quiet. You roll over, hug me tight. Finally feel like everything's alright. Though I made it home, something in your bones still feels alone. Can you feel me now? Pleading with your soul, please don't let me hold you, before I'll take off towards another town.
That's my boy Gatlin Johnson right there, man. That is a Gatlin Johnson tune right there if I've ever heard one. Why would you put that out there?
I don't know, because I messed it up at the end there. I don't know.
Okay. Well, Gatlin, thank you so much for being here on this third episode of Between the Verses, man. It means a lot that you were able to make it in. You were definitely top of my list of getting into the studio and having a chat with you. So next time you're out and about, you see Gatlin Johnson, he's going to be in your town. You need to make sure you go and see that show. His band is freaking phenomenal. His songs, they come from the soul, man. They do. And I think that's where for me, that's what means most in music is when it's coming from here, you know, and it does. And so that's my ultimate compliment to you. You just keep doing what you're doing. Do you have any shows that you want to promote that you've got coming up? Or you're welcome to do that if you'd like before we wrap it up. You have to look at your schedule, don't you?
Luckily, the shows that we're playing are other people's, so and I'm pretty confident, but in them, not in myself, in them. But we'll be playing the Blue Light on August 8th with Jason Boland and the Stragglers.
Oh, how badass is that? Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's a good fit,
come
too.
out if you can make it. If you can.
What's the date?
You should be there early, August 8th.
August 8th. Okay, great, because this episode should be out by then. So.
Yeah, that one is a big one, and then
hopefully, we'll see.
Oh, man, I can't think of any other shows that I'd want to promote at this time.
That's a big one, though.
We're going to have our headline date at Blue Light is going to be October 31st, so real spooky.
Okay. All right, a little Halloween show. Right
Haven't
on.
decided what we're going to do with that yet, but...
Yeah, but I bet you got something in your back pocket.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, very cool. Gatlin Johnson, thank you for being here. This has been Between the Verses podcast. My name is David Wilde. I'm your host, and, of course, looking forward to episode number 4. We're going to keep that in our back pocket for now, but we got some really cool artists coming up. I've been talking with Giovanni from Giovanni and the Hired Guns. Going to get Randall on if he would, give me a call, Randall. I don't like that you changed. Well, I'm sure he had his reasons for changing his phone number because it went green. It went from blue bubble to green bubble. So I don't know what's going on there. But Randall, hope to hear from you soon because we're going to get you on this podcast as well. Man, thank you for being here.
Thanks, David.
We'll see you guys on the next episode.